Welcome back to the deep dive. Ever thought about your life like as a script? One that's always being written, filled with those big moments, twists you didn't see coming.
Yeah, those scenes that really define things.
Exactly. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into a fascinating script, the story of a sports icon, Virat Kohli.
Ah, Kohli.
Yeah.
A compelling figure, no doubt.
Definitely. We're drawing from some really interesting excerpts from Virat Kohli, a cricketer's script of fire and focus. It gives this, unique inside look.
Right. So what's the mission here? What are we trying to uncover?
Good question. We really want to get into what fuels that kind of relentless focus he has. How do major setbacks actually become turning points? And, what wisdom can we pull from a life lived under just immense public pressure?
Makes sense. And the book, as you said, offers a unique angle. It doesn't just start with Kohli, the superstar.
No, it goes way back.
Right back to West Delhi, a young kid. And what's striking, I think, is that his early dreams weren't about, hitting centuries for India straight away.
No. What was it then?
The source mentions his big goal is just, playing one full innings without getting scolded by his coach or his dad. Simple as that almost.
Well, that's relatable.
But even then, the book points to this inherent hunger for something more. It was there simmering beneath the surface.
That initial spark. And the book traces how that hunger, it didn't just grow, it kind of intensified, didn't it? Into obsession almost.
Yes, obsession and then, crucially, discipline. That's how the legend was forged, according to this perspective. And Kohli himself, he's quite blunt about it. He says, struggle, every great script has it.
He doesn't shy away from that.
Not at all. And the honesty there is quite powerful. He talks about, days I broke down, days I wanted to walk away.
Really? He admits that?
Yeah, explicitly. But what pulled him back, even in those dark moments, was this idea that the cricket pitch, that was my stage, I've got to own it.
Like a core belief he couldn't shake.
Exactly. It suggests a drive that was, deeply ingrained. Long before the global fame, it wasn't just playing, it was about mastering everything around it, the mental side, the physical, owning the whole thing.
Right, and that conviction, that ownership, it sort of sets up the next act, doesn't it? Like in any script, there's usually that pivotal moment, the turning point.
The scene that changes everything.
Does the book pinpoint one for Kohli?
It does, and he points to it himself very clearly. The 2014 England tour.
Ah, yes. That was famously difficult for him.
Brutal. He says, I failed. Bad. Critics wrote me off. But here's the key part. The script analogy continues. He says he didn't just tear the script.
Okay. What then?
I rewrote it. That's his phrasing.
Rewrote it. That sounds significant, not just creaking a few things.
Oh, far from it. The source describes him coming back as a different beast. And this rewrite, it was fundamental, based on three pillars. Which fitness, first and foremost. Then mindset and focus. A radical overhaul. His training regime changed completely. He worked on mental resilience, narrowed his focus like a laser.
So that failure wasn't an endpoint?
No, it was the catalyst. It forced a redefinition of his whole approach. Really fascinating.
And when you think about the climax of such a script, you probably think, okay, World Cup win, maybe a record score.
The obvious stuff, yeah. But his perspective, at least as presented here, has shifted. He actually says his climax hasn't come yet.
Interesting. So what does he see it as, potentially?
Maybe he suggests it's not a century. Maybe he's mentoring the next kid who feels like I did. He pushed it quite powerfully. It's not always about lifting trophies sometimes. It's about lifting others.
Wow. That really reframes success, doesn't it? Moving beyond just the personal stats and wins.
Absolutely. It speaks to legacy, impact, a kind of collective purpose, rather than just individual glory at a much deeper definition.
So bringing this back to you listening, if this is a Kohli's message, distilled from his journey in these sources, what's the takeaway?
I think it comes down to his final thought in the excerpts. Play your game, not someone else's.
Right. Own your failures. Celebrate your grind.
And never, ever let the noise drown your inner voice. Powerful stuff.
It really is. And it's not just for cricketers, is it? It feels universal.
Definitely. It's about authenticity, resilience, trusting yourself, really. For anyone navigating their own path, their own script.
So maybe the question to ponder is this. Thinking about Kohli's story, what part of your own script are you perhaps ready to rewrite? Or what kind of climax are you aiming for that maybe goes beyond the obvious definition of success?
Great question to leave folks with. Food for thought.